Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the only Male Cruise. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. You know I want to hear from you. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Let's go to work. All right. Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the only male cruise. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for pulling up today's episode. Lying on that thang-a-lang. All right. Whew, it's been a minute, y'all. I think I posted on my community tab. School is back in session, so that's been taking up damn near all of my time. But I do want to thank y'all for pulling up. And just gonna thank y'all for pulling up. So, all right, y'all. So these ladies, this testimony with Nia and Tracy and Pauline, and Jane, you know, that's just been some interesting testimony. But one of the things that struck me the most, shout out to Man of Loop. Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate y'all. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't already. One of the things that really kind of struck me was the thing with Nia. Okay. She's truly a scorned lady, and I feel sorry for her. You stopped at a gas station to buy a rose for an R&B superstar. What'd you think was going on? Well, I mean, what kind of impact did you really think that one little gas station rose was going to have on R. Kelly? That's for starters. And then I'm shocked and amazed that this girl got $500,000, and at a young age. And it would seem to me that if R. Kelly wasn't messing with you with $500,000, did you really need him to after you done settled this lawsuit real good? So that's just, it's just sad. So, but anyway, the other sad part about all this is the fact that everything that R. Kelly is accused of doing, this sure has costed him. This cost him a lot. It cost him a lot. But anyway, so the thing with Nia really isn't, I mean, he didn't even have sex with her. Okay. According to the testimony that she gave. So I know that some other channels have covered this. So you guys are probably well aware of the details in her testimony. So it's really not my intention to read the transcript verbatim, but I just wanted to highlight a couple of things. So for starters, for those of you who are already aware, we know that Nia jumped on a plane all by herself. She had the limo pick her up. Clearly, her brother was aware that she was getting in a limo and was aware that she was leaving town. She lied to her mom. Told her mother that, you know, she's going to be spending the night at somebody's house who the mom knows. And, you know, it's just sad that she was able to get away with this. Like, unfortunately, there was no parent, still, again, in all these cases, no parent accountability. Because I know when my daughter would ask to go somewhere and spend the night, I'm like, get the mama on the phone. Get somebody on the phone. Get an adult on the phone. And she would get mad at me because it's like, oh, you ain't got to do all that. If you want to go somewhere, yes. And if the mama ain't talking right or sounding right, you won't be going at all. Okay? So, but anyway, this is what appears to be systematic, if you will, with all of these young ladies. And I think, and I don't, some of the pictures I've seen, um, I can see how Kels might believe if these ladies lied about their age to him. I can see how he could believe that they were just, legal age, at least 17 in the state of Illinois. Shout out to K Baby. Thanks for pulling up, sweetheart. Appreciate you all the time. Um, and then for someone to be able to jump on a plane, okay? All Kale's camp had to do, according to Nia, is just make the arrangements. And Nia was able to jump on the plane and get there, okay? Why would I think you weren't of that age? Melissa Renee in the house. Thanks for pulling. I appreciate all y'all. So it's what happened in the hotel room that Nia alleges what happened in the hotel room. That's the part I'm going to use the word interesting, but it makes me embarrassed for R. Kelly, because it's not that, people don't do what Kels did, okay? It's the fact that everybody and their mama gotta know what Kels did. Everybody and their mama gotta know, what Kels likes to do. And I was wondering, so according to Nia, she went to the concert, the limousine pulled up to her crib. She got in, went to the airport, blah, blah, blah. Nobody checked for ID. And of course, this was before 9/11. So, okay. She got on the plane, wasn't no problem. And what I do know also is back during that time frame, if you were a minor, you did have to have, a parent you had to have a guardian. And if a guardian wasn't there, then they would assign someone, a stewardess, to be responsible for that underage individual until they got to where they were arriving. So it's just kind of funny that didn't have to happen, so. But she was able to get on the plane, do as she thought she wanted to do, no problem. That's just crazy. And your brother knew. So I don't know. This shit's crazy. It's crazy. But according to her, she got to the hotel. They called her up and told her, hey, we about to, send a van to pick you up. The Sprinter van. So they came, picked her up. Apparently there were other people in the van. She went to the concert, had a good time, went backstage. She went backstage. They took her out and put her in another car. And they told her, hey, Kel's going to get with you later on. But come to find out, Kels didn't get with her later on. He actually came and hollered at her the next morning. I don't know what Kels was doing. Shout out to Aretha Johnson. I don't know what Kels was doing. He might have been visiting somebody else after the concert. Who knows? But I just wish Kels went and pulled up to her room, because here's where we are now. Let me shout out the chat. He said, what year was this again? See, and again, that was in question as well, because I think she's saying it was 1999 or something like that. I'm trying to scroll through these. That's a very good question. She's saying, I don't say it's like 1999 or 1996, somewhere like this. So it was definitely before that. That's for certain. Yeah, when she got on the plane, I think around that time. I think it was definitely before 2000, according to her. But this testimony is so convoluted, y'all. I just don't know. Thank you, Melissa. Girl, you be on it. Y'all be sure to follow Melissa on Twitter. This girl be dropping some stuff, okay? So follow her. And follow me on Twitter as well, y'all. But thank you, Melissa. But see, even during that time, if you were a minor, you would have had to have a like I said, a stewardess or somebody like that would have had to been responsible for you while you were on the on the flight. I'm just going to shout this chat out real quick. Shout out to April Showers. Thanks for pulling up. Appreciate all of y'all. Let me see here. Taniqua McKay, number one mod in the house. Got Alexis Monet. Thanks y'all for pulling up. I appreciate all y'all. So anyway, getting back to this stuff. So it's so convoluted. It just doesn't make any sense. So with you being able to jump on a flight and meet Kels with no problem, then and if you lie to me about your age, me meeting you on a flight is not going to make me doubt or question what your real age is. Okay. I'm going to be further convinced that you are at least legal age. And so again, I just feel sorry for Kels that he has to, that this is what happened. So, and evidently Nia met R. Kelly in a mall in Atlanta. And so she went up to him for an autograph, and evidently he put his number on the piece of paper that he autographed for her. And so they had some type of conversation back and forth. And it came to the point where they had a conversation, and he asked her to go to, I think it was Minnesota for the concert or something of that nature. But let me scroll up here in this transcript real good. Let's see here. So when she's under under direct examination, the story sounds really good, and it sounds horrible for R. Kelly, to be honest with you. So I ended with the fact that, he sent her back after the concert. She went backstage, and then they just took her directly from backstage into the vehicle, told her, Kels, I'll holler at you later. And it wasn't until the next morning that Kels called her, talking about he's sorry he wasn't able to get with her that night, but he'll be to see her in the morning. And so she says here, I remember him giving me a call around 9 that morning, and he came that morning. And so she said that they're asking her, well, what if anything happened when Mr. Kelly came to see you that morning? She goes, well, when I first came in, he gave me a hug and he gave me a kiss, and I asked him if he'd mind taking a picture with me. And he told me that he didn't want to take a picture, that they would take a picture another time. Now, this girl was fanning out. But, at least Kels was smart enough to be like, nah, hell no. I'm not taking no picture of you in a hotel room. In no hotel room. Hell to the no. I don't give a damn how old you are. We ain't taking no pictures up in here. And so, anyway, so she says, they did some hugging and kissing. And then she says that Kels sat down on the bed, asked her to undress and walk towards him and to turn around. So kind of do some, little catwalk action. And then she said he told her to sit down next to him. So evidently she did according to her, she did what he asked her to do. So she says, he started kissing her, touching, feeling on her booty. Okay. And then she says that Kels started to, get his own rocks off. All right. It is Sunday morning, so I'm going to watch my language. My pastor called me the other day. Yeah. Hey, how you doing? I was like, oh, fine. So I'm going to watch my language this morning. Exactly, Melissa. The Sprinter didn't come out till 2001, but that's what she called it. And that's a good point, Melissa, because that makes me think that this, again, is some rehearsed testimony. Let me shout y'all out in the chat. Just a T, please. Thanks for pulling up, girl. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate all y'all. Let me see. I'm still wondering what her mama thought when her 15-year-old was across the damn country when she got off work. The lies these people are telling. Right. And well, she said she told her mom that she was spending the night at a friend's house where she always spent the night because she said her mom was a registered nurse and apparently worked, different hours or whatever. But I look at it like this. You talking about a single mother, Black woman in Chicago that goes through the challenge of getting your RN license, that tells me you got a standard, some kind of place. You know what I'm saying? That you would at least be like, where are you going? Who you gonna be with? But if this girl, if Nia was always at this friend's house, then her mom probably believed her and took her word for it. You know. So Manaloop said it seemed like she would have taken a picture the first time. Exactly, in the mall. Absolutely. But so it seems a little sketchy to me too that all of a sudden you want a picture with Kels in the hotel room with that gas station rose. Girl, what them roses is $2, $3. And back then it was probably 99 cents. Come on. K Baby said, I've taken pictures with Kels and it's never been nothing out of the ordinary of just taking a picture with his fans. All this mess is crazy, girl, ain't it? Kels always rode in a Benz Sprinter, and that didn't come out till 2003. Okay. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I hope the jury is seeing through all of this. All of this. Ooh, she said her mom is strict too. See what I'm saying? Hey, the dog. Thanks for pulling. I appreciate you so much. That's what I'm saying. It's this is some rehearsed stuff. So anyway, she says, yeah, her and Kels got to kissing and hugging, and Kels is touching and feeling, and this, that, and 2/3, and pleasuring himself, as Bonjean put it. And so the AUSA says, well, did you see him doing that? She goes, I did. Did the two of you discuss anything while he was pleasuring himself? And she said, well, prior, when I walked around, when I turned around, he asked me if I was a virgin, and I told him that I was. And he mentioned that he wanted me to come see him in Chicago prior to me coming to sit next to him, prior to him pleasuring himself. I don't know about that, y'all. And the other thing too is Kels is a man. And we know men are going to say some things that they might mean at that time, but they only mean it for that time, okay? Because we will come to find out that she did come to Chicago, but it wasn't like Kels didn't put her up. It wasn't nothing to it, okay? This girl sold herself real nice and cheap, okay? In my opinion. So anyway, she goes, this AUSA, after he asked you if you would come and see him in Chicago, did you respond it anyway? She goes, yeah. She goes, what did you say? I told him I would. Okay, so he goes, at that point is when I came and sat down next to him, and that's when they got to kissing and hugging and all that extra pleasure. And so she says that after he got done with his business, Kels got up and left. And matter of fact, she says that it was like he was in a rush. She says he left. He cleaned himself off and he left. And it seems to me, once you get into this girl's testimony, into Nia's testimony, Nia thought she was getting ready. I think Nia just had convinced her own self, that this was a thing with her and Kels. But I think that offended Nia. I think Nia wanted something else. And I was wondering after I read this transcript, like, I wonder why Kels just didn't have sex with her. Shout out to Sean Davy Way. But I'm wondering why Kels didn't have sex with her. Why he did that? Because there's, I think, a couple of other instances where Kels has done this same thing, or it's alleged. And like I said, that's his business. He's a grown man, and that's not against the law. But I'm wondering why. And if y'all have any ideas in the chat why he might have chosen to just, get his own self off, as opposed to actually having sex with this girl, y'all let me know in the chat why y'all think he did it like that. The doll said, I love the Pied Piper. Yes, R. Kelly. Nobody does it better. Musical genius. Show enough is. Show enough. Let me see here. Nina said her feelings were hurt because, yes, and Trina, girl, we about to get to that one because that's where all this comes along. That's really where this comes through. And I didn't realize and learn any of this until I read through this transcript. So anyway, And here's something else that I thought was interesting too. So Kels left. The girl was supposed to get on a flight, but instead, because she had met somebody at the concert, instead of catching her flight home as scheduled, she chose to stay and kick it in Minnesota. For somebody who's sneaking away and your mom and them don't know where you at. And I don't think she had a cell phone. Yeah, because I think in the transcript it gets to some point where she says she didn't have a cell phone. You mighty free with just doing what the hell you want to do, okay? And so you mighty free doing what the hell you want to do. So that's just striking to me. All right, so she goes, no, she got a number from a girl at the concert that she talked to, and so when the driver came to pull her up to take her back to the airport so she could go home, she told the driver to take her over to the girl's house. And so they went over there, hung out with the family, and just kicked it. And then she caught a flight later. Um, and so then she went home, said she never heard from Kels again. And I think it goes in here where she says something about she called him a couple of times, but, she never heard from him. He never called her back, things of that nature. So when it got time for her to come to Chicago, um, from my quick recollection out of this transcript, she didn't call Kels and say, hey, I'm on my way to Chicago. She's still going on him saying, you need to come and check me out in Chicago. But anyway, she got there and she got to Chicago and she tells her cousins that she wants to go and visit Kels, blah, blah, blah. And her cousins were like, he's too grown for you. You don't need to go by yourself, etc. So it wound up where she ended up going to the studio with Kel, to where Kels was at. But her cousins, an adult and two other of her cousins, went with her. And so the way it happened, Kels wasn't expecting all of them to come through. He was only expecting her, is my understanding. And so they all ended up just sitting around in like a green room or whatever. But when she gets there, so Kels wanted to, they were there for this extended period of time. They were getting ready to go. Kels wanted to holler at her in the hallway real quick. I think it was when she first got there. They hooked up in the hallway real quick, and she said that, he was feeling on her and had his hand inside her pants, and all this is what she's saying under direct testimony. But they weren't in that hallway long, and so then everybody goes back into the green room. They wait, and then it's time to go after hours of being there, and they get ready to leave. And, Kels was like, yeah, let me holler at her for a minute. And the adult cousin was like, I'm going to give you 5 minutes in the hallway. And evidently the cousin was timing their interaction. So she says, Nia says, they just kissed and hugged a little bit and blah, blah, blah. And that was it. She never heard, they left and she never heard from Kels again until years later. I think it was like 5 years later or something, according to her. She was out in California and she's trying to do this modeling and TV. She's trying to break into that. And somehow she winds up on a video shoot for R. Kelly. And, that seemed a little funny to me. But let me check this chat out real quick, because y'all always be giving up some good stuff. Let me see. Good question. Why didn't he have sex with her at the hotel for the first time? Yeah, because you had all that time and all that space. And even if it wasn't going to be nothing but a quickie, you had the privacy to do it. So I wonder why you didn't. So And I don't know what the age of consent is in Minnesota. So maybe Kels was trying to make sure that, he didn't violate just in case or whatever. I don't know. And it's too bad he's not going to be testifying, because that would be a good ass question. And you're right. She was a fast ass. All of these girls were fast. All of them. Even by the way they testified in court. You could tell this is not victim mentality. Let me check out these comments real quick. I think Kels was very wary of who he messed with. It shows that he just didn't get busy with anybody. Yeah, definitely not to that extent. And and also he may have thought that damn, this bitch might have some video camera record somewhere. And he wants to control the videos. Okay, maybe that's what I don't know. What's up, Tay? How you doing? Let me see. Yeah, very leery. And Samantha, look, y'all be kind in the chat. Be kind in the chat. Let me see. That's why I took a break from hearing from her again. Yeah, she probably wasn't his speed anyway, to be honest with you, because that gas station Rose just told me what kind of caliber the girl was at. Because, you got your good, fast girls that got some high standard. They fast, but they got the standard. And the gas station Rose does not fall into that standard. Okay? It just don't. And you bought that Rose in Chicago and took that all the way to Minnesota. Okay. You said, Nia said she went out in the hallway 2 times because at one time, and it was 5 minutes. Well, the first time is when they first got there, according to her. According to her testimony. But I agree with you. It's some lies in there. And I would, at this point, I don't believe none of these victim witnesses. I believe the cousin before I believe, because Nia said that when it was the first time that Kels had his hands in her pants and whatever. So I just don't. I don't believe her. I don't believe her at all. Let me see. Manaloop, he didn't sleep with her. Yeah, he did this. He didn't sleep with her, and that's what kind of threw me off a little bit. Wait a minute. Oh, she's not alleging that there was any type of sex going on. But anyway, back to the details of Nia. Okay, so she meets him at this video shoot. Okay, and the video shoot that they was on was turn back, if I could turn back the hands of time or something like that. Now, see, this is probably what put the nail in the coffin, because you're right, Trina. Kels didn't remember her there. Of course, she remembered Kels. Hell, she knew she was at a Kels video shoot. But just the whole, if you guys know that song, is pretty much, Kels being nostalgic, if you will, over a relationship that he should have done better in. And so, but all the while that the girl is on set, she said that Kels looked at her like he was trying to see that, do I know you? Have I seen you somewhere before? That type of thing. But he never spoke to her. She never spoke to him. And it was after that Nia decided, okay, pumps and a bump, I'm about to file a lawsuit. So Bonjean kind of got with her a little bit, and I'm trying to scroll down here. I just want to give y'all that overview coming from the prosecution's perspective. And so let me scroll down here in this transcript. So yeah, she said, yeah, he signed the autograph on a piece of paper and his number was on there. And she said that eventually, after she did have a conversation with Kels, that once they hung up, he called her right back and told her, I'm just calling you back to let you know that this is real. This is Kels, blah, blah, blah. So, but after that, Bonjean said, did he ever call you, or was it pretty much you calling him? And she goes, well, I remember one time in particular when he did call me back. We had just spoke after we got off the phone. The phone rang right back. I answered the phone and he said, I just wanted to let you know it was real. And I said, okay. She goes, okay. And he called you, and Bones, she's like, was this from a landline? And But Nia says the majority of times when they spoke, it was her calling him. All right. And so she goes, Kel's invited you to a concert in Minnesota. And then they go back and forth about some dates. Um, and they're, her, if these victim witnesses, okay, would be more credible if they even conducted themselves appropriately on the stand, which they didn't. And let me do a quick sidebar real quick. So we're already hip to this stuff going on with Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears. And the girl, because we know it's a Jane and John Doe that are putting a suit against them. And so the girl, the Jane Doe in this Tiffany Haddish case, said that, after the situation went down, she didn't tell anyone. And to me, this is why this is so important, because we can't continue to let that go on. Because a good attorney is probably going to get Tiffany and Aries off simply because they didn't tell anyone. She didn't tell her mama. She didn't tell her daddy. She didn't call the police. And then the brother gets involved and becomes a John Doe. And so, and none of these girls, back in this Kel's case, none of these girls called the authorities immediately. And so it makes it harder and harder and harder to believe that these people are victims when they don't take the initiative to call and report or tell an adult that some shit's going on. And we know that your girl, Nia, wasn't going to call the police because she would have had to tell that her ass snuck on a damn plane. So I'm sorry, but I don't see her as a victim. Yeah, where is the autograph? She couldn't find it because Bone Jean asked her that, man, a loop, and she goes, I don't know. I've moved several times. I don't know. Mm-hmm. You got bitter. You probably shot at that damn thing. You mad about it. So anyway, Bone Jean goes, did you tell your mother that you had met R. Kelly? She goes, nope. All right. And how was it that you traveled on a plane to Minnesota without any ID? She goes, at that time, she had a password, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we kind of covered that. And Bone Jean asked her, well, when you got to the hotel, did they ask you for a credit card or ID or anything like that? She goes, nope. Okay. So everyone is thinking, apparently, that you are of age at this point because you're moving like you of age. Whether Kels and them coordinated the hotel arrangements or not, you're moving like you're 18. The flight attendant, when you went to get your ticket, they didn't say, can I see your ID? I mean, in 1990, blah, blah, blah. Hell, they still do. They ask for IDs then, especially if you look suspect. So nobody asked you for an ID at no portion on the trip? No. So, anyway, so she goes, so she says that when Kels invited her, she said that, so let me get to this part right here. She goes, but you were going away for a couple of days, right? She goes, yes, I was. And so did you just lie to your mom and tell her that you were going somewhere else? She goes, no, I told my mother that I was going over to a friend's house for the weekend, a friend's house that she knows that I normally go to visit. So that whole weekend, you don't call your child? You don't call where your child is at? No, what the hell are you doing? Where y'all at? What y'all doing? What y'all do last night? You ain't even checking in with this minor? You ain't checking in with the minor child that you have? That don't seem right, y'all. So Bonji says, okay. She goes, a house that she trusted, so she never thought anything about it. Okay. She goes, okay, so when you spoke to Mr. Kelly on the phone, did you tell him, listen, I got to be quiet about this. I can't tell my mom. Don't send any flashy cars to come pick me up. Did you say anything like that? She's like, no, I didn't say anything like that. When we spoke, the only thing he asked me was if I was able to go. I told him that I would. He didn't. We never got into detail of all those different things. So no. And did you actually tell him you were 15 years old at the time, right? I told him before I flew out to Minnesota that I was 15 in one of the conversations we had prior. Okay, Bonsheen says, okay, and so if you told him you were 15, then you must have told him, of course, that your mother would not condone you going to Minneapolis on a plane by yourself to go see a grown man, right? So, of course, she played like, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. She's like, well, anyway. So Bonjean says, well, did you tell your mom that she goes, well, did you tell your mom that you didn't tell your mom that you were going to this, right? She says, I didn't tell my mom anything about going there. No. Okay, so my question is, did you talk to Mr. Kelly about the fact that you had to keep it a secret from your mother? And again, she's like, no, he just asked me, could I go? And if I was going to be able to go, and I told him that I would. But I never had a deep conversation about my mother, so no. Okay. It's just too much. It's too much. And she goes, Bonjean is asking her, okay, but you weren't worried that when this flashy limousine pulled up, that your siblings or your neighbors might tell your mom that you got into a white limo? That didn't concern you? There had to be a hater somewhere on the block that would have came up to the mom. And girl, I seen Nia getting in a white limo. What y'all doing it big, ain't you? And the brother kept this on the low too. She go, my brother that's 2 years older than I am, we're very close. So he actually was there and he saw the limousine when it came, but he was already aware. I already told him. He and I were close, but he never disclosed anything to my mother. It was just between he and I. I'm sorry, this is some foul ass living. That's all I can say. This is all I can say. So anyway, like I said, I'm jumping up here to California now. She goes to Cali. Kels don't recognize her. According to her, Kels is looking at her like, damn, you look familiar. But he doesn't say anything. And that pissed her the hell off. And then, like I said, the video was enough for her to go to Susan Loggins. And that's the part I want to get to, because it's the let me do this real quick. It's the hold on, y'all. Here we go. It's the blaming the transcriptionist and blaming, now you gonna blame the attorney, that the attorney got the dates and stuff wrong. Now hold on just a minute. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Okay. So one of the things in here, at some point when it came out that Kels was going to be, I think for this 2008 trial, and she comes forward to be a witness, and because she wants to help the witnesses, she wants to help the victims. Okay, what a good Samaritan! What a good Samaritan! Hold on, y'all. Okay, so this is in like 98 or 99, where she says she's out in California pursuing an acting career, modeling and acting. And she says it's about 2 years after this thing with Kels, and that she got a gig at the Turn Back the Hands of Time video that Kels was on. And Bonjean asked her, she goes, well, you didn't go up to him and say, hey, remember me? You were kind of a jerk. You never called me back or anything like that. She goes, nope, I never said anything to him about it. And did he ever say anything to you about it? Nope, he never said anything to me about it. So you was just a one-night stand, girl. You was a one-night stand. And you really want a one-night stand. You was a fantasy, baby. Anyway, she goes, no, there wasn't a lot of people on the set. I would assume maybe 15 to 25 people, not a very big set. And I thought that maybe he might have seen so many different women and met so many different women that he probably just didn't remember me. And she goes, okay, and did that upset you or bother you in any way? She goes, well, I was a little disappointed. My feelings were a little hurt. My feelings were hurt. No, baby, you was bitter. That, if anything, that's when you became bitter. Your feelings were hurt that he didn't recognize you. Is that right? Or that he thought he might not have recognized you? That he never recognized me. He never acknowledged me. He never spoke or anything. Okay. Bonjean says, okay. She goes, yes, it was hurtful. And Bonjean says, and then, if I'm correct, at some point thereafter, not long thereafter, you heard that there was a big scandal and he was being charged with child pornography in Cook County, right? She goes, that was a couple of years later. She was right, sometime, a few years later. Yeah, somewhere around there. And then it was after that scandal broke that you filed a lawsuit against Mr. Kelly. And so she says, well, initially I came forward to be a witness. And when I contacted the attorney and told her, this is what had happened to me, and maybe I may be able to speak up for someone, or I don't know, because it had been some time. It was some time. At that time, I was from 15 to like 20 to 21, so I didn't know if anything other than just being a witness. And at that point, she told me that she wanted to speak to me. So I did not contact her to file a lawsuit. I contacted her to let her know what I experienced, thinking maybe I could have been a witness. Bonjean says, so you contacted a private attorney in the city of Chicago to offer your assistance as a witness. Is that right? She goes, at that point, she had represented a young lady who was, and of course, Bonjean got to get with her, talking about, hey, just answer my questions. Bonjean ultimately is getting to the fact that you call a private attorney in Chicago to offer your services instead of calling the Cook County State's Attorney's Office and let them know. So that is telling of itself. You didn't call because you gave a damn. And as independent as this girl is, you're not going to tell me you didn't think. You're not going to tell me that you didn't think you was going to get a payday out of this. You want no good Samaritan. I don't believe that. You're taking flights all by yourself. You're jumping in limos and your brother know about it. You're lying to your mama. And your mama, according to her, ain't checking for you a whole weekend. Your mama ain't called you one time? Come on. Shout out to Small Fry in the house. I don't believe her story, period. How she called the airline and changed her flight. 15. Nope, not my. Come through. Abso-damn-lutely. Teflon Don in the house. Shout out to you, Teflon Don. Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you. Let me see here. Trina said, she said she uses a code to get on the plane. Yeah. And what's that supposed to be? That was probably a code from R. Kelly's camp to ensure that nobody else was able to use the damn ticket. I don't know. It's lies. It's lies. It must have been a special plane. Because any other plane, if you a minor, they check it. I'm sure the concert was on a Saturday. Kel stopped on a Sunday at 10:11. What time? How'd you leave I'm stuck on how she changed her flight. How? Yeah. But that's a good question. That's a damn good question. And she said in the testimony she was able to change her flight and there was no penalty. And, because they would charge you a restocking fee or whatever. These airlines always was trying to get you to, hell, that shit was expensive in the 90s and it's expensive now. They want to charge you for every damn thing. So, yeah, I was able to change my flight and you had no problem. Okay, girl. That's right, Michelle. Free R. Kelly. Nia knows she was lying. You mean she allegedly slept with R. Kelly at 15 or 16, just told her close sibling, and he didn't say or do anything. I smell some BS. Ain't that it? But again, you technically you didn't sleep with him. And see, that might be, and I'm sure that really was the big problem, because she thought Kels was going to put some work in. Okay, she thought Kels was going. Yeah, she thought Kels was going. Go to work. You're not getting on no plane without an ID at 15. You're damn sure not. And if you don't look like you're old enough to fly by yourself, somebody at that damn ticket counter is going to ask for an ID. Okay? Money. Yep. OJ's in the house. Shout out to Larry Hawkins. Always nice to see you. She lying. Absolutely. She lying. Shout out to all y'all in the chat. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you haven't already, hell yeah, they lying. All of them lying. Sean David Way in the house. Sean David Way on Station here be doing this impersonation. He goes, hell yeah, I lied. Hell yeah. And hell yeah, this girl. It's all I'm lying. Anyway, so Nia calls an attorney, Susan Loggins of all people, instead of the state's attorney, instead of calling the police. Okay. She says, so Bonjour says, so, okay, you didn't call Cook County State's Attorney's Office and let them know. No, I didn't. Okay. And that attorney said, oh, you might have a lawsuit. And then, in fact, she filed a lawsuit on your behalf, right? Well, she didn't exactly say that I may have a lawsuit. She said that she wanted to talk to me further in detail in reference to the matter. And so Bonjean goes, and this woman is Susan Loggins, right? She goes, yes. She goes, and I think you ended up settling the lawsuit before it was filed. Does that sound about right? She goes, so the girl, Nia, saying, yeah, it got settled very fast. She goes, I think as soon as he was approached with it, I think they resolved it. And, people say, well, why did Kel settle the case if he wasn't guilty? Well, maybe Kels didn't want people to know that, instead of going into these hotel rooms and screwing the girls, he was going into the hotel rooms and doing what he did. Maybe that's what he was in the mood for. So he is a well-known R&B superstar. So, maybe he thought at the time that it was best for him to settle it, or maybe Darrell and him made that decision. Who knows? But that's well within his right to settle the freaking lawsuit if he wants to. So anyway, it gets into where this girl is actually trying to say that Susan Loggins. Now hold on, y'all, because I'm going to make sure this is the right one. I know that it is, but let me just double check. I hate to tell y'all wrong stuff, because then I got to come back and say, oops, I was wrong. And then, y'all will spread the wrong information that I gave. So I don't want to be giving y'all inaccurate information. And I believe that this is the issue where she's trying to say, damn it. She's trying to say that Loggins put in, I don't know, it could be the other girl. Hold on. I want to say that Nia is the one where she said that Susan Loggins put in the wrong dates. But no, it must be the other girl. So anyway, they settled the case for $500,000. And it might be the other girl. I got to double check that, y'all. I got to double check which person this is, because okay, it wasn't her. Hold on. Tracy. It's Tracy. Okay. So Tracy. So ultimately that is the case with Nia. Nia gets $500,000 with the settled suit. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Let me double check. Make sure that amount is right. I think it's Nia, the one that got the $500,000. Let me see something here. Hold on here. Yeah. I think it's Nia that got the $500,000, but it could be wrong. One of them got this $500,000 settlement. And let me go to the chat, because maybe y'all know, and I appreciate y'all, because y'all be keeping me up to date, up to speed. Let me see. I think they should subpoena. You think they should subpoena who, Tay? That was the game. That was the game. That lawsuit was the game. But let me just jump over to Tracy real quick, because if I understand correctly, it's Tracy is the one that is Tracy is the one who is saying that Susan Loggins put in the wrong dates. So y'all just bear with me a moment. Yeah, Susan Loggins. Yeah, it's Tracy. So Tracy said that Susan Loggins, when she filed her suit or whatever, let me just go into it. Yeah, said that I told her one thing. Let me get into this, y'all, because y'all just have to know about this. This is crazy. All right, hold on, because I'm on a whole new transcript, so just bear with me a minute. But Tracy is the one who claimed that she met Kells at the Black Women's Expo, and she trying to say it was 99, but the woman from the expo said, nope, Kells wasn't there at the 99 expo. He was at the 2000, and just all of these lies. So she goes, let me see. Okay, so Bongine says, to be perfectly clear, hold on, this is a 254 page transcript, y'all, so bear with me, and I appreciate y'all for doing so. Hold on just a minute. Oh my God, these people, I just can't believe it. This is why, and I'm gonna ask y'all this. Do you think they need to have testimony on anything else? Does the inconsistent testimony about the tapes and the incidents and when they occurred and how they occurred, and the fact that these girls never called the police, they called everybody but the police, and these independent moves that all of them made, and then their stank ass attitudes on it. Do you think they need to bring anything else in there to find Kells not guilty? Because I feel like shit, they don't need to bring up nothing else. Because if it's all about the minors and they were young, and you look at these girls, that's all the testimony they need. I don't think they need to bring nothing else. Darrell, Milton Brown, nobody need to testify. These people have shot themselves in the foot with all this. All right, so with Tracy, her inconsistent story is that she went to a hotel and a friend went with her. I think the girl's name now is Adams. Went with her, ended up showing up at the hotel, but she went to Kells, forced her to have oral sex, I think it was, and but she never told this to anybody. This is the girl who supposedly was doing a internship, and the lady. There's some question in here where it's like, can you even confirm that the girl graduated? She goes, I can't confirm it. Can you confirm that she even completed the internship that she was on? She goes, I can't. And the woman's like, I can't confirm it. So, okay, so Bongine starts off with, Tracy, it's your testimony that you began interning with Kathy Carroll in the spring of early 99, right? And she goes, yeah. She goes, okay, let's try to go to it at least the seasons, okay? And so she goes, it was the spring of 99. And she goes, so you were actually in high school when you started interning with her? She goes, yeah. And so evidently Tracy graduated high school early, which, that's not always an easy thing to do. So apparently she had something going for her. And she goes, is it true that you actually applied to this internship or sought to do this internship when you were a student at Columbia? She goes, no. She goes, okay, I'm going to show you a document. She goes, all right. So Bongine says, do you recognize this? She goes, yeah. She goes, what is it? It's an internship registration form. All right. For what institution? Columbia College. And to your recollection, when were you supposed to start this internship? She goes, the spring of 99. So Bongine says, but you indicated on your internship form for Columbia College that you were going to be beginning this in August of 99, right? And so her smart ass says, well, if you read over where it says the internship registration form, it actually says it was requested for the summer of 99. Okay, calm your ass down, Tracy. Calm down. And Bongine goes, right. And that's when you did your internship in the summer of 99. So she's so busy trying to set Bongine up and be a smart ass to Bongine. Bongine is like, Now you let me go to these comments real quick, y'all. It was her pissy tail at what you say, small fry? What you say, girl? Wait, they should have subpoenaed her ass. Hold on, y'all. Let me catch up with y'all in the chat real quick. So they do need to call Susan Loggins, because to me, that would throw the Tracy shit all the way out the water. Now you're gonna try to blame Susan Loggins, and you really would, and she did file a complaint against Susan Loggins, but evidently it didn't go anywhere. But for this girl to be in open court trying to say Susan Loggins changed the dates, and then on top of that, you changed the dates. If Susan Loggins was going to change the dates, she would have changed them to where it would have gained more money for Susan Loggins on the back end. It definitely would have got Tracy more money, but it damn sure would have benefited Susan Loggins in the percent of the fee that she was going to get. So come on. They do need to bring Susan Loggins in. I believe Darrell and Susan have a tag. Have as tag team and getting Kel's money. Small fry. That's a good perspective. Huh? Larry, you say, yes, I think Sparkle and his ex-wife or wife should be called to the stand. Not only that, fat boy Jimmy, yeah, he's pulling up this week. I think he's supposed to be on the stand Tuesday. But fat boy Jimmy, old Jimbo, is the one to follow them around for 30 years. He needs to take the stand. He's been subpoenaed. He will be on the stand. If their parents are still alive, the defense needs to bring them in, or a close friend. Absolutely. Shout out to you, Miss AP. Appreciate you all the time. Blessings to you as well. Let's see. Small Fry said Tracy was 16 in 99. A lawsuit in 2001, she was 21. Not only that she had a threesome with Jane and Kels, Jane doesn't know Tracy. Abso-freaking-lutely. We sick and abso-damn-lutely. Whew, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they need to bring nothing else up. If Kels wants to sue Darrell, file another suit once you get free. But I feel like they don't need to bring nothing else up. But anyway, so Bongine goes, do you have a piece of paper anywhere that can corroborate that you started your internship in high school? She goes, no. She goes, well, Kathy Carroll does not corroborate that you started your internship. She goes, first I'm going to ask, have you spoken to Kathy? And anytime during this internship? And here's what Tracy goes. Yes, she was yelling at me, calling me stupid. So Bongine asked her, have you talked to Kathy Carroll during this internship? Because what happened is the AUSA objected, like, we want to, time period. So anytime since you did this internship, they want to know, they're asking Tracy, did you talk to Kathy Carroll? And Tracy goes, yes, she was yelling at me, calling me stupid. And Bongine goes, okay, that's not my question. My question is, did you talk to her? So when is the last time you spoke to her? She goes, I didn't speak. I was just getting yelled at. Okay, when is the last time she yelled at you? Maybe about a few years back. Maybe, if you want to put a date on it, maybe about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And Bongine goes, and were you working for her 3 years ago? No. Okay. Were you working in the same place she was 3 years ago? No. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. You met Mr. Kelly in the spring of 2000. Isn't that correct? No. But I want to stop here a minute, because I want to know, why was Kathy Carroll yelling at your ass? Why? I wonder why Bongine didn't delve further into that. Because why was she yelling at you? You weren't working for her. She wasn't working for you. So what was you trying to do? Get some documents? Or try to swing her over to your side? What's up? Why was she yelling at you? And if the internship was over, You didn't even have no reason to even be having a conversation with Kathy Carroll. And all this is about 3 years ago? 2019 much? Was you trying to get her? What? They need to call Kathy Carroll. And damn, let me check my transcripts because y'all tell me, did they call her? Does anybody know if they called her? I'm going to check on that, y'all. I'm going to check on that because I got to know why she was yelling at him. All right. So anyway, Bonjean says, and you were in fact 17 when you met Kelly. She goes, nope. Okay, well, let's take a look. First, I want to ask you this. The first time that you ever told law enforcement that you were a minor when you had the first time that you ever told law enforcement that you were a minor when you had sexual relations with Kelly was when you spoke to the federal agents in 2019. Isn't that right? Nope. Well, the first time, Bonjean goes, let me back up. The first time you spoke to any law enforcement person was in 2019, is when you said you were a minor, right? She goes, Bonjean says, okay, let's be precise. You were under the age of 17. The girl's like, can you repeat that? They go back and forth a little bit. So it's your testimony. You told Cook County State's attorneys back at that time that this was being prosecuted, that you had a threesome with Jane. She says, yes. And again, this is the one who Jane doesn't even know you. She don't know you. She don't know you. They showed Jane a picture of your ass and I'm just trying to scroll down real quick, y'all, to the testimony about the lawsuit. So bear with me while I do that. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Okay, so in 2019, you said you did not report this, but today you're saying you told everybody back in 2002 about your threesome with Jane. Is that right? I'm sorry, who's everyone? Well, you told law enforcement. And she wants to go, which law enforcement are you talking about? It damn sure is not the police, Tracy, because you didn't call them. Shit. Bonjean said, well, yeah, we'll consider Cook County State's attorney's law enforcement, okay? She goes, yes, ma'am, thank you. Okay, have you ever seen any reports that reflect that you made that statement to law enforcement or the Cook County State's attorney's office back in 2002? No. Has anyone ever asked you, did federal agents over here indicate, Bonjean was pointing, even ask you about your prior statements? She goes, yes. She goes, and did you ever produce any reports? Hold on. Did they show you anything that showed with your own eyes that you'd made those statements back in 2002? Because we're getting into this Westin hotel where she says Kels forced her to go down on him or something like this. As a matter of fact, let me do something. Yeah. So she's saying that she's trying to say that Kels forced her into having sex at the Westin Hotel, but she never told anybody about this. And she's also saying that Kels forced her to touch his penis at the Westin Hotel. But again, she never told anybody this. So when she filed her lawsuit with Loggins, all she was trying to say was that she was a minor. And it gets further into the transcripts where she says, well, I didn't tell them that because I loved them and I didn't want them to get in trouble. Wait, what? You loved them? You didn't want them to get in trouble, but you're filing a lawsuit? It all sounds like extortion. It also sounds like none of this crap happened, because if it did happen, you would have put all this in the testimony. You didn't think Kels was going to get in trouble through a lawsuit? So you keep that part out, but you throw in just enough to so you can get a couple dollars. It's just none of the story makes sense. And that's what the problem is. Okay, so You remember talking about this first encounter, I guess if you want to call it that, at the Chicago Track Studio, right? She goes, yeah, I told the truth about what happened. Okay, so great. And you told them that Mr. Kelly was wearing jogging pants, and at some point he pulled them down, he exposed his penis, and he was groaning and masturbating, and that Kells asked her to remove her pants and shirt, but she told him no. He also asked her if she ever had intercourse before, which she told him no. She recalled that Kelly tried to force her head onto his thang-a-lang, but that during this encounter, he also pulled down the front of her tube top she was wearing, exposing her breasts. Is that right? That's right. The girl goes, yes, that's correct. She goes, and says that Kelly continued to pleasure himself, and when it ended, until it ended, let's put it like that. And so Bonji, in his honor, she's saying, okay, at no point did you say to him, hold on, yeah. Because I know at this point y'all are asking me, who is the her? Bongina said, you didn't mention any of this story about the Westin Hotel. And I'm trying to remember who this person is. I believe this is the girl that comes in. Her name is Witherspoon. What was Adams is what her name is now. The girl got married because when Kells came, he told her at some point, go down and get some breakfast or something of that nature. The point is that you didn't tell people this, and you're telling it now. You didn't tell it when you filed the lawsuit. You didn't tell it before this 2008 trial. You're telling it in 2019. You filed the lawsuit. Let you tell it. Susan Loggins put the dates in wrong. You said you met him at the expo. Your friend has pretty much torn up your testimony because your friend has torn up your testimony because she said, no, it wasn't that year. The lady that coordinates the Black Women's Expo said Kells wasn't there. Bonjean says, your friend has previously testified or given sworn statements that it was the Black Women's Expo. And the girl goes, well, I wasn't privy to her testimony, so how can I answer that question? Bonjean goes, well, let's pull up her friend's affidavit first, see if it refreshes her recollection. And of course, the AUSA and them want to call it hearsay. And the court goes, yeah, just ask the question. And Bonjean goes, Miss Witherspoon is one of your friends, right? She was previously. Bonjean goes, huh? She was in the past, yes. Is she still your friend? No. Bonjean said, why not? Because we're not. Bonjean said, oh, all right. And she is the person that you went with to this event where you told the story about getting an autograph for Kelly. Yeah, she went to the event with me, correct? Okay. And I want, and you say now that you don't remember what the event was. Is that right? I'm saying that it was an event. How do you get on the stand and this is how you want to testify and you want people to believe that you're a victim and you want to be believed? I'm just saying it was an event. Bonjean said, okay, does her affidavit refresh your recollection about what the event was and what it was called? It says on here, the Chicago Black Women's Expo. Does that refresh your recollection that this was the Black Women's Expo? It could have been. And Bonjean says, and okay. And now I want to show you a report from May 7th of 2019. Mr. Kelly wasn't at the Black Women's Expo in 1999, was he? He was at the event I was at in 1999. Whether it be the Black Women's Expo or not, he was there. What? But y'all want to be believed? He was at the Black Women's Expo in 2000. Do you see? See if that refreshes your recollection. And so apparently they're showing some exhibit here. So Bonjean was like, Bonjean is trying to get her to read a document, the other girl's affidavit. So Bonjean goes, I would like for you to read that paragraph. And she reads it. And she goes, okay, now does that refresh your recollection? Kells was at the Black Women's Expo at a promotional meet and greet, signing autographs in 2000, in April of 2000. That's what it says right here. And you're saying that that's not when you met him? No, that is not the event I met him at then, because it was not 2000. It was 1999. Bonjean says, and yet the complaint you filed also said you met him in April of 2000, right? That's what the paperwork reflected, but as I told you, that was untrue. And this surprised me too when I read these transcripts, y'all. Now, here's Bonjean. Now, you have gotten some help from the government, financial assistance from the government. I fear for my safety, so yes, I was moved. Damn. Bonjean says you were receiving housing assistance. Is that correct? Yes, ma'am. Okay. And did the federal government secure your housing situation? Was I moved? Bonjean said, yeah. Did they pay for because of my safety? Yes, I was moved. Did they pay for it? Yes, I was moved because I fear for my safety. Yes. Bonjean said, okay. And you also expect to get restitution in this case, right? What do you mean? You expect to get money at the end of this case, right? You mean, do I think I'll be awarded restitution? Bonjean said, yeah, I don't know. But it's something you're asking for, right? I haven't even thought that far. Quit lying. I haven't even thought that far. I'm just telling the truth. Okay. And you did maintain a relationship with Mr. Kelly after 2001. We saw each other from time to time. Yes. And for years, right? A couple of years. I just said we saw each other from time to time. Bonjean said, right. And this is after you made $250,000 off this agreement. Okay, so Tracy's the one with the $250,000 settlement. Oh, no, yeah, that's the $250,000. So $500,000 to Nia, $250,000 to Tracy. I mean, damn. I know Kel's got to be like, damn, this was he would have done better going on Sugar Babies or something. I feel sorry for Kel's. Ooh, let me go to these comments real quick, y'all. She needs to be on the stand. Y'all still talking about Susan Loggins? Who you talking about? I can remember in the New York trial, Susan Loggins' statement was she knew those girls wasn't victims. She sent one of her, ooh, Small Fry, don't make me drop the link so you can come up here and tell that part. Say what? Because I wasn't at that New York trial. Oh, man. Yeah, they need to bring Susan Loggins, and maybe they will. Hopefully they will. So anyway, Bonjean says, okay, and this is even after $250,000. You made $250,000 off of this agreement. You still kept in touch with Kels from time to time. She goes, I'm sorry, you said after I made what? She goes, yeah, after you. Are you referring to after the lawsuit? Bonjean said, yeah, after the lawsuit. Bonjean said, and you continue to reach out to him, right? And Tracy goes, and you saying, did I see him? Yeah, he forced himself on me at a nightclub. When I read this crap, this was just too much. Tracy is saying that let me just read it to y'all. She goes, Bonjean says, okay, so she goes, yeah, and he pulled my dress down in front of people. Bonjean says, okay, now, you just asked me to tell you when, so Bonjean said, no, I'm really interested in this new business. Who have you told that he assaulted you in a nightclub after all this? I told the Chicago detectives as well as the federal government. Bonjean said, really? She goes, yes, ma'am. Okay. That he tried to pull your dress down? He pulled it down and looked inside of my dress. Yes, ma'am. Bonjean said, and you told the federal government this? Yes. Okay. When did you tell them that? I told them I don't know when I told them, but I did tell them. Uh-huh. And did you make a report to the police also? It sounds like, right? His security was off-duty Chicago police. They told me he just wanted to talk to me. Bonjean said, my question is, did you make a report with the police when you claimed that the man you had previously sued for assaulted you again in a nightclub? She goes, Tracy says, no, because they were present. They didn't do anything. This is, y'all know this. All this is lame. The girl, you didn't call police. You didn't tell nobody. But you here today. You hearing this Rico. You hearing this Rico. Now you got all these fantastic ass stories. And if I was the jury, I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm not the jury and I don't believe this crap. And if the jury is reasonable and logical, they can't be believing this crap. So she didn't call the police. Susan Loggins changed the dates. Your friend, you started with the story that you met Kels when he was signing autographs for fans at the Black Women's Expo. You said it was 99. Kels wasn't there. The people at the expo say Kels wasn't there. They're wrong and you're right. Okay. They're wrong and you're right. Even your friend says that's when she went to the Black Women's Expo. I mean, it's just too damn much. It's a witch hunt. Oh, it's just a whole witch hunt. I want to drop the link. I want to know, does anybody want to come up? Because this is just too much. It's just too much. Let me come to these comments and see what I can learn from y'all. Now, Tay, who you saying is coming up this week? We know Jimbo's coming up, but who else is supposed to be coming up? Hopefully, AUSA Kroll. That's who I got to know about. Susan needs to be on the stand. All right, Solo. I'm loving me. Shout out to you, all right, Solo. Appreciate you pulling up, y'all. Let me see. The jury has to see this. They got to see it. They got to see it. Yeah, they need Susan on the witness stand. Yeah, especially, and they definitely, if I was Susan, I would want to be on there now after this girl has intimated that Susan Loggins is changing dates. Come on. She needs to go to jail for lying. J-Rock says Susan Loggins is part of the RICO against R. Kelly. Yeah, but now that she's been lied on, they need to bring that ass on the stand and confirm, did you change the dates? Because now professionally, she looks suspect. Oh, shoot. She looks suspect. Oh, I don't know, y'all. This stuff is just too much. It's just too much. I feel, like I said, I feel sorry for Kels. Because not only do you have all his personal business out, but, we done went knee deep in R. Kelly's sex life. We know all about how he likes to get it in, according, at least the lies of it. And if I was R. Kelly, hell no, I wouldn't testify either. So you can ask me, that shit. No, these are lies. Either it's lies, or when it happened, these girls weren't minors, or they lied about their age. There's too much inconsistent stuff in here to find this man guilty on these things. And I think if this kind of testimony, if Bongine would have been in the New York case on from Jump Street, they would have found Kels not guilty as well, because they would have been able to pull all this out. And the other interesting thing is, before this trial started and the government submitted all those motions saying, you can't ask this, you can't ask that, you better not ask this, you better not ask that, I didn't think we would get all of the revelations that we have received. So where the government thought they was really hemming Kels and him in, okay, Bongine has still been able to get out a lot of information that makes these so-called victim witnesses look like they are nothing short of prostitutes. Okay? I had mispronounced that. Prostitutes. All right? And cheap ones at that. Anyway, y'all. So, I don't know. I can drop the link if you want me to. I said that earlier. Nobody said nothing. So, I presume y'all are multitasking while y'all are in this chat. Small fry, my feelings are hurt for Kels. I'm crying right now. Lord, please let the jury hear the truth, because this makes no sense. He's been going through it his entire life. Lord, please hear are my prayers. Small fry, let me also add, in Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Because, girl, It's very hurtful. And then you look at the fact that, the man is older now. The man has gotten older now. These, and if Kels, that's why I got that video on my community tab. Um, real talk, real talk. That video, I'm wondering if any of these victim witnesses was who inspired Kels to write that song and sing that song. Y'all check that video out. It is on my community tab. If you ain't hip to it, but I feel sorry for Kels too, because these people that Kels actually was good to, I think they had it on Drink Champs where B2K and them were talking about how Kels had flew them out of the country to sing happy birthday to his daughter. And then you look at Andrea, how she worked to turn the kids against Kels. Everything that's come out in public about R. Kelly from the hater side, the non-supporter side, it is to make him look as inhumane as possible, make him look like an entire monster. And it's a damn shame. It's just shameful. It's shameful. These women, like I said, their behavior on the stand, as a juror, I wouldn't believe a damn thing you said. None of them sound like victims. And Bonjean has been able to pull that out. Y'all not as innocent as y'all try. Oh, and he pulled my dress down, and then he looked up under, and then he wouldn't take that little gas station rose I bought him. Poor me, pity me. And then when they get up under cross-examination from Bonjean, hell yeah, I said it. Hell yeah, he did it. I said he pulled it down, so he pulled it down. Did you ever, well, what did the attorney say? She lied. Did you sue the attorney? Yeah. The transcriptionist got it wrong. Everybody's a liar except for them. Were you a virgin? No, I wasn't no virgin. Hell no, I wasn't no virgin. So you proud of that? So, but we supposed to believe you some type of a minor. Move around. His ex-wife didn't tell she was going to get the girls, that stinky witch. That's why she did all of that preemptory, uh, uh, um, what do they call those things? Where she went on all these different podcast episodes and news channels trying to make herself out to be a victim. Oh, I was hogtied for 24 hours out the day, and Kels beat me, and he this and that. Well, you forgot to tell us how you was making passes after women, how you slept with Jane Doe, the main person that why we're here today now. You forgot to tell us that, Drea. You forgot to tell us that. So stop with this madness. I'm sick of this crap. That's why I feel like they don't really need to bring up nothing else. Larry Hawkins said, Jennifer does a wonderful job of making these people. Oh, yes, she does. Because I think in one of these ladies, okay, term used loosely, Bonjean goes, oh yeah, okay. Oh, I like to see the real you. That's cute. That's cute. It's just too much. It's just too much. The state didn't do a good job presenting these ladies, because what the state should have told them was, don't be on here being an asshole. Okay, excuse my language on a good Sunday morning, but that's what the state should have told them. But these ladies are so happy for this attention. And poor little Nia. Kels didn't even remember your ass. He didn't remember you, but you got a nice hefty little settlement. I'd have been like, I don't remember you, nigga. $500,000 for a one night stand, and we didn't even have sex. Oh, hell to the no. I'm cool. I'm real cool. That just would have been it for me. I'd have been like, hey, it is what it is. But she probably blew that money. And did the mama ever say anything like, how you coming to that windfall? At what point did the mom become involved in the... Anyway, y'all, this whole thing has frustrated me. So, like I said on my community page, y'all, my classes are back. Summer's over with. I'm waiting on Jim DeGrotis for me. Um, all right, y'all. I'm waiting on DeGrotus to come on the stand, which is supposed to be this week. I'm waiting on AUSA Kroll, and I'm waiting on Agent Molina. I'm waiting on them to come on the stand. Y'all follow me on Twitter because even though I don't be on on YouTube Live as much at this point, I'm damn sure on Twitter. Um, but yeah. So anyway, my calendar is under pressure. Okay, so but when those other two, DeGrotus and them, or when something breaking and significant comes up, I'll definitely be back live. But be sure to like, share, subscribe. But that's it. That's the podcast. It's just too much. It's too much. J Rock, what you said? So you mean to tell me that R. Kelly flew you from ATL to Minnesota to go to his concert, put you up in a hotel, and he didn't even have sex with you? Really? That's what I'm saying, J Rock. J Rock, I want to drop the link. I want you to come up here because I'm just feeling some type of way. All this testimony is baloney. But you're absolutely right, and that's what we have said in the chat today. It's ridiculous. That's what I said. I wonder why Kels didn't. If what she's saying is true, why Kels didn't have sex with her? So even that part might be a lie, and maybe this whole thing about because it's more women, more than one person saying that Kels pleasured himself. So my question is, all of these ladies at some point had to have interaction with AUSA Kroll and Agent Molina. Did they encourage this line of defense? Y'all, hold on just a minute. Hold on. All right, y'all, I'm back. Sorry. All right, y'all. So it's just too much. It is way too much. Let me see here. They've been told what to say. Same script. Yeah, they all have the same script, and that's just a part. That's just a part. It's all the same. They need Drea on the stand. Drea, aka Whoville. She does need to get on the stand. And I don't know, this week is going to be interesting because maybe there are going to be some surprises, even though I think the witness list is out. Where is that? I don't know, to be honest with you. Um, but I know they've talked about who they have coming. So I don't know, y'all. It's definitely worth keeping an eye on. So I'm damn sure on it. Uh, but it's just sad. It's sad. And Kels, you know, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, he's a grown ass man. He was a grown ass man. And if these things, like he said, the women that he had sex with, they were not underage, period. So, you got some men that they only gonna do it one way. You got some men, everybody has their preference of how they, want to have sex. Everybody got their own little flavor, their own little flow. Gail's got his, but listening to his music that's not a far stretch. Okay. But my thing is, don't try to take that persona and because this is essentially what they've done. You're trying to use that against them. And it's just, I don't know, it's just too bad, because we see where Kels has shown generosity, he's shown compassion, he's shown openness, trusting. He's shown these things, and these silly ass women have shown that they was just all about bagging up, a superstar. And just like Andrea, shit, you married him. And people are saying, well, that marriage was all for a certain reason. But either way, he agreed to be in that with you, which gave you power and control and access to some things. And you screwed that back up. So I don't know, just idiotic. It's just idiotic. So yeah, we need those prayers. We need those prayers. J-Rock said, I'll tell you who else need to take the stand. And that's 2 additional people. Who? Faith Rogers and Demetrius Smith. You know what? I haven't heard much from or about Faith Rogers, and I'm going to tell you, J-Rock, tell me why you think Faith Rogers, she needs to take the stand. Because it's just, and the Demetrius Smith thing, I've seen, yeah. This is crazy. This whole R. Kelly saga is crazy. That's all I can say about it. All these insertions of people just for some notoriety. And then when you look at it, what they really came out with, they all look like idiots. And the more all this stuff comes out, especially with Bongine cross-examining these people look worse. They look worse. Kels, to me, I see Kels in a more compassionate light than I do Bongine, because I don't believe that a young lady got on a plane, took her ass on a plane, and your mama, your brother, ain't nobody said nothing, the airline stewardess, nobody, the baggage handler. So then your ass must have looked like you was of age. Anyway, it's just too much, y'all. That's it. That's the podcast, y'all. Be sure to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Replay gang, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. And until next time, y'all, let me just stop and say thanks to all y'all for pulling up, liking, subscribing. Appreciate every single last one of you. Until next time, y'all, we will see ya when we see ya. Welcome to the Only Male Cruise Show, the podcast. I am the Only Male Cruise. Be sure to hit the like button, share, subscribe, replay gang, leave a comment. I want to hear from you. Copyright disclaimer regarding fair use is in full effect. The views and opinions expressed in this show, you guessed it, they're all mine. Let's go to work.